All right, here we go. I'm going to start with a prayer. I'm going to place my hands on my heart, close my eyes. I invite you to do the same if it feels comfortable and safe for you to do. And I'm taking a nice deep breath. Breath of love and gratitude. Allowing everything that came before this moment to fall away. Setting aside anything that is to come after this study group session. Knowing that I will easily and effortlessly be able to pick it back up again if it is mine to do. We are grateful and thankful for being the two or more who are gathered in the name and the nature of love. Grateful and thankful for our willingness to know our true identities, to remember our true identities as unconditional love, perfect wholeness, prosperity, abundance, clarity, wisdom, beauty. We are grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask them to join us now, surrounding and supporting us, blessing all who are here, all who may listen later. We are grateful and thankful for our open hearts and open minds and our willingness to receive the all good and the insights and the wisdom and the beauty and the inspiration from our shares today. And we are grateful for our willingness to claim the all good of God right here and right now, and to share the benefits of all that we receive and all that we are with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and divine gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. And magically they appear. Welcome, everybody. So we are still in chapter 10, doing section 3, the God of Sickness. And I'm going to read the first paragraph because I had quite the aha this morning when I was reading it. And so I have some questions about it that, I don't know, maybe they'll get asked while we're here together today. You have not attacked God, and you do love him. Can you change your reality? No one can will to destroy himself. When you think you are attacking yourself, it is a sure sign that you hate what you think you are. And this, and only this, can be attacked by you. What you think you are can be hateful. And what this strange image makes you do can be very destructive. The destruction is no more real than the image, but those who make idols do worship them. The idols are nothing, but their worshipers, are the sons of God in sickness. And so I had some insight, but I also have some questions. So I think I am a widow. I think I am a person that is prone to depression. And I hate the meaning that I make of those things. But it's the judgments that are feeling like they're sucking the life force energy from me. And when I can tolerate and even love these parts of me, I will no longer feel victim of the exhaustion and the brain fog that I've been feeling recently. So I don't know. I still feel like, where is the line, or where does it come together, being loving and compassionate with my personality self that believes it is a widow and believes that it has had a history of depression? And where am I not tolerating my humanness? So that's kind of the like questions that are swirling in my head. So I don't know if any of you have any thoughts or answers. I would be grateful to hear it. So that's where I'm starting us today. Anybody else have anything?
Could you repeat those questions, Linda?
Yeah. So if I am feeling that what I am, what my humanness is a widow and a person that um, has dealt with depression in the past, and I'm hating that part of myself, and that is why I'm feeling exhausted and seem to have brain fog. Where do I let go of the ideas, knowing that the truth of me is that I'm unconditional love and that I'm really a thought in the mind of God, not even really here? And where do I allow myself to have a tolerance of my humanness with compassion? So that's kind of that's where my brain went today.
You gonna go first, Dane, or
I was going to, but whatever, doesn't matter.
oh, go ahead, Kathleen. It's
Okay,
okay.
go.
Go ahead, Kathleen.
No, I'm just coming out of this talk by the woman that used to do the daily lesson workshop every week with Robert and Emily Perry. So she is talking about Christmas time, and she's going to be giving 4 talks, and today was the first. And it just at the end of it, she had us all look at each other as if we were looking at Christ. It made me cry. I mean, there's 144 people there, and we were all looking at each other as if we were the Christ. And then a lot of people, from whatever she was saying, became inspired to decorate for Christmas, whereas they weren't going to. They were feeling kind of bummed out about Christmas ahead of time. Um, to decorate lovingly, like put up a tree, but just everything you do it with love, like one little thing at a time. So I'm just thinking maybe decorate for Christmas and do it lovingly and forget everything else. Just something like that, like every little task that you do or that I do, is just like do it lovingly and don't worry about, whatever we're thinking about ourselves and whether we're hating ourselves or not, because Christmas is the rebirth of Christ within us. And Christ is getting ready to be reborn out of me, or I am going to be more aware that I am Christ as Christmas approaches. So I haven't even thought about Christmas till she started talking today. And now I'm going to get out my decorations and I'm going to lovingly decorate. So I don't know if that helps at all, but it's just something to throw in there.
Yeah, thank you. And I've kind of been doing that a little bit because um while I can't seem to be able to bring myself to go through our Christmas decorations that we've used for the past 40 years, I did make a couple of little Christmas ornaments because it just felt depressing not to have anything symbolizing the holiday season. So yeah, thank you for that, because that is reminding me that I kind of am doing that.
Yeah, those are cute. I saw them.
Yeah, thanks, Kathleen. And then either Dana or Daniel, whoever of you would like to go first.
Okay. So a few things come to mind. I'm driving. That's why I'm not
That's okay.
on camera. But I think first and foremost, what's coming to me is the word grace for you, Linda. Give yourself some grace. It's very new. This is very new for you to be without Rudy. This is the first holiday season, no?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that just that word came to me as I was driving, like just give yourself the patience, give yourself the grace that it's okay to feel that way, because can I ask how many years were you and Rudy married?
We were married 40 years, but we were together for 43.
I mean, that's,
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
long
that
friggin'
is,
time.
yes, that is a long, long time to
Yeah.
now have the first time without having him.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I guess it's just that part. I would just say it's okay. And the word grace just came to me with it, to give yourself that love and grace that as time goes on, because it is true in our world, time does heal wounds. As it gets more distant, you're going to acclimate more to just, unfortunately or unfortunately, life without him.
Yeah.
And holidays, navigating holidays without him, which aren't going to be easy.
Yeah.
But there's a passage in here that I highlighted that, and I think in reading that, hang on, hold on, my mother is actually calling me, but I can't take her call. There it goes. There's a passage in here that this whole section was so clear, and it was almost like I was back in like kindergarten, as in, and I mean that in the way of I understood this so clearly and firmly after reading the Jesus the Autobiography book.
Mm-hmm.
This made this so everything that I'm reading here, because Jesus references this book numerous times in that autobiography. So the chapter 11, and then this kind of can go for you too. When you were speaking of depression, you will hear the God you listen to. You made the God of sickness, and by making him, you made yourself able to hear him. Now, all I did, Linda, was right above sickness, external, and then in the next chapter or the next sentence, he is therefore not eternal and will be unmade for you the instant you signify your willingness to accept only the eternal. And for eternal, I wrote underneath it, internal.
Mm-hmm. The
eternal is the internal, and the sickness is the external. So you can't, I'm going to say this in the way of this book, is you can't feel depression because that's external of you, because the internal of you is perfection. And it is me, and it is Carla and Kathleen and it's us, because there's only one of us, because there's only one of him. So you feeling that way is external. It's just the quote unquote God of sickness. It's not the internal, which is actually us, all of us as one. So I don't know how you can kind of wrap that around the thought process that you have when those thoughts come in, the ego thoughts come in of depression and sadness and things of that nature. But when you go back to eternal, which is internal, I feel like that might be where some salvation will happen, or some clarity or growth, maybe. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah. Yeah. I'm riding two horses.
But it's okay, because we have that human part of us too.
Yeah.
We are here. So it's okay. And that's where that grace comes in.
Yeah. Thank you.
I would say, Linda, I was thinking a very similar thought as my brother, in the sense that because I can very easily put myself in Thanksgiving 2 years ago, which was probably, it might have been like one of the hardest things. Like, even, I don't even know if it was harder than actually like my dad. There were so many things that happened.
Yeah.
And I was taken off guard by some of the grief stuff that happened for me, and moving my mother. And then I had some stuff with my in-law. It was like a tsunami of a shitstorm for me. And it was so hard. And that first Thanksgiving, I just didn't expect it to be so friggin' hard without my dad. And it was. And there was all this other stuff happening too. So I can go there and I can say, and I reiterate everything my brother said, Grace, like you are still having a human experience.
Yeah.
Like yes, that is the challenge, I think, of this is like, we have two minds, but we also need to give all of ourselves grace because we are literally having a human experience. It's not like we're not in spirit, we're in a body. So we are spirit, but we are in a body. And that comes with all of the things that being in a body comes with,
Yeah.
it's there's a lot to that. And so yes, give yourself grace when you feel those feelings. What I was thinking about and what I am learning to do for myself, for these things that your questions were about, these aspects of your human self, right, that you do not prefer, that you hate, to use your language. And what I have been trying to train my mind to do is to see these things in my life that I really, in my humanness, I don't prefer, whether it's something about myself or an experience that I'm having or whatever it is. And I go back to that, like, so I just have like these foundational verses from the course that are like, that, everything is for my good and there are no exceptions except in the mind of ego. So if that is true, that everything, like that means everything, right? Even this thing that feels really shitty, or the conversation a few weeks ago with my husband's job that made us think he might be losing his job, all these things. And when there's all this transition, it's like, okay, everything is for my good, everything. So I ask myself, what is the lesson in this, or what is the gift in this? And sometimes it takes me a while to get there. Like it might take me a while to get there because I'm still having, when you're in the experience, and I will say I've grown to the place where I can be having an emotional experience and still take myself out of it and like understand mentally, like I know these things still are true, but I'm literally like, I'm having a hard time getting out of the feeling of it right now. Like I'm in the feeling of it, and grief is like that times 1,000. Like I know these things to be true, but I'm so in it. It's so that it's hard to get out of it. So that's the two, but to just keep, and in those moments for me, I just keep speaking the truth that I know is true until I start to feel it. Because sometimes you don't feel it. Sometimes you feel the human shit, like just to be quite honest, like you do. And that's probably where you are. And the holiday season is hard.
Yeah.
Your first one especially is really hard. And so, yes, give yourself grace in that and trust that there is a lesson through this. And this is your first one. So, yes, you may not want to do all the things that you did before. It was really hard. It was really hard for me to cook 2 Thanksgivings ago. And I didn't know that would be a thing for me, but my father loved to eat. And I didn't realize how much I loved to cook for him when he was coming. And there's still things that I have not made since my father's passed in 2.5 years. There's certain things I just haven't brought myself to do and make with some of his babes. So, that's real too. So I don't know, that's helpful at all, but to know that there will be a lesson. And when, and that's also like the course says, like if you're experiencing pain, then you're choosing a wrong perspective. So I also like come to this place where I ask God, help me see this rightly then, God. Change my perspective. Help me see this differently. I am, to use all Jennifer's things, like sometimes I just do that and I'm mad. And sometimes I drop some F-bombs with that. I'm just like, I'm not interested in feeling this way. I am freaking not interested in feeling this way, but I feel locked in this body and I can't get out of this feeling.
Yeah.
So sometimes like, just all those tools of like, I'm feeling this. And then at the same time, and grace for yourself and love for yourself, that this is part of your journey. These are experiences, of this lifetime. Anyway, I don't know if that's at all helpful, but that's some of the things that I do. And then I would just share a passage from paragraph 6. I guess we have to go back to the end of 5. A sick God must be an idol made in the image of what its maker thinks he is. And that is exactly what the ego does perceive in the Son of God, a sick God, self-created, self-sufficient, very vicious, and very vulnerable. So then in 6, is this the idol you would worship? Is this the image you would be vigilant to save? Are you really afraid of losing this? Look calmly at the logical conclusion of the ego's thought system and judge whether its offering is really what you want, for this is what it offers you. To obtain this, you are willing to attack the divinity of your brothers and thus lose sight of yours. And you are willing to keep it hidden to protect this idol, which you think will save you from dangers which the idol itself stands for, but which do not exist. So it's just, I love that the Course just shows us like how vigilantly like we are fighting for these things, these images of ourselves, these images of God and the world that really are just ego thought system that harms us. So last thing I'll say in relation to this passage and to when you're in those really deep feeling moments when you just can't get out of it is just to fake it till you make it. Just keep speaking the truth that you know is true, even if you don't feel it in your body in that moment, because that's like you can understand it and also be deep in a human feeling experience. And so I do think there's power. And I have experienced recently, which has been really wonderful and miraculous, like when I'm in those feelings and having that and I'm voicing that I'm not interested in this and help me see it rightly, God, I don't want this, then the time between when I'm in it and when I can get beyond it does shorten. It's shorter than it used to be, I guess I would say. So just keep speaking the truth. And even if you have to write it around you or whatever, because it's, the next 6 weeks, yeah, you may have to have it all over your house.
Yeah.
Help pull you out. They're like ladders out of the depths to help pull you out of the depths when you go there, So anyway, I don't know if that's helpful, but
yeah, thank you, Dana. It is helpful. And it's funny because one of the things that I circled like several times was where is it now? At the bottom of page 355, the note at number 5, where he says, but the Comforter, which is the Holy Ghost, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance whatsoever I have said unto you. And I wrote next to it, I only need to ask. I forget. I allow myself to get stuck down that hole and I forget. So just going to continue to give myself as much grace as possible through all this. So thank you both. Thank you all. Carla, welcome back, my friend. Good to see you.
Yeah, I've been experiencing. I mean, I was going to read this. Truth can only be experienced. It cannot be described and it cannot be explained. That's what you're doing, Linda. You're experiencing. We are that through which life passes. We are not that which passes through us. We're love. And I was late to this group because I was writing something and I realized now, I think this is for you, Linda. I'm going to read it. Okay. I called it God. God. There's only God. You're all the cells in the body of God. Yet we think we need to do things. Work, make money, fear, sleep, love. And some we need to do to sustain the body, our family, our close family. But here I have learned this, remembered, really. There is nothing we need to do but love. The mind will say, oh, it's impossible to do that because we need to eat, we need to make money, we need to do things. But I say this, trust, love, just love. Love life, love God, love self. And all you need, what you desire will come. But you need to trust, love, just love. Love life, love God, love self. And all you need, what you desire will come. we have to experience life to really remember. Remember what we are. You are not the body. Feelings come through and you get to choose. The true self gets to choose what you desire. Many have forgotten this. They get caught up in believing what they feel. It's just a feeling. It will come and it will go. However long that takes, it's kind of up to you. I mean, I've chosen experiences in the last month or so that I thought I would never, ever choose. And it's really taught me to love throughout. I mean, everyone is doing their best, whether they judging mind, think so or not. Sometimes we forget, sometimes we get caught up in life, in our experiences, but I think our mission, and of course it says, is to forgive, right? And so we did forget ourselves. We're getting caught up in stuff, other people for what they choose, forgetting whatever it is. Forgiveness is really love. So you are loving yourself by forgiving yourself. That's all we can do, is do our best to choose love in however form. Because if there is any love, everything that happens, everything we do, everything we see, everything we experience, it's all love somehow. And I'm like, I thought, I would never choose this, but it's not that our experiences are given us before we come into life. We choose our experiences for what we believe, because truth is going to be shown to us. Whether we see it or not, it's up to us. We experience it, cannot be described and it cannot be explained, really. But I have faith in you. I believe in you. I believe in everyone. And everyone is going through their own experiences. Some don't seem so loving. But that is not my choice. That is their choice. What is my choice is love. And that's to see only love in their experience, in their choices. It's learning. Somehow, I don't have to know everything, but I can't stop love. Love cannot be stopped. It will unfold however it unfolds. And what's my point of thinking, if someone is loving or calling out for love in their actions, love, it's all there is. And the hardest thing is to love ourselves. But when we do that, when we love ourselves, we love everyone, because there is only one. It seems like we have to love other people and accept that. No, it's us. The power of choice can never be taken away from you. Never taken away from you. That is free will. Just love.
Thanks, Carla. Good to have you back, my friend. Anybody else have anything else they'd like to share from the reading or from anything that was shared already? I can read. So I got in between paragraph 9 and 10. There's just a few sentences I circled, so I'll read from that. You could accept peace now for everyone you meet and offer them perfect freedom from all illusions because you heard, but have no other gods before him or you will not hear. And then down in 10, but when they seem to speak to you, and the they is the gods that I made, which are the idols of my belief that I'm a widow and can be depressed. So when they seem to speak to you, remember that nothing can replace God, and whatever replacements you have attempted are nothing. Very simply, then, you may believe you are afraid of nothingness, but you are really afraid of nothing. And in that awareness, you are healed. And I just thought, so is the personality that believes in those idols, in the gods that I made, is afraid that it's going to disappear into nothingness. And really, that's nothing, because I'm not even really here. And when I think of it that way, it is laughable. It is laughable. The body might be here, but the truth of my being, which is spirit, is not. It's just playing this game called living this life in this experience that I'm having. So, yeah.
Something that just came to me, Linda, you speaking, um, and I guess I'd say take it for what it would be is, and it's early for this, I think, but not really, is opportunity. You know, here what we do know to be true is it's very early from you not being with Rudy anymore. This is your first holiday without him. This is really your first season, winter season without him. As those seasons progress and go forward, you'll never forget it, obviously. You know, do you have life yet still to live? Absolutely you do. And that's where I think the opportunity comes in, is when the grief of him not being here starts to get maybe less and less, and you can more remember him with joy and happiness and things like that. As those experiences start to become more prevalent, now there's more where that opportunity lies starts to come to the forefront, which is an opportunity maybe to do things or experience things that you didn't or couldn't when you were with him.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new world that I don't know that you're probably not there yet. But when you do get there, is there for you. Whole new world.
Yeah.
Because I know right now you're in that place of I'm a widow. And that's real and tangible. And yes, in our human world, when we're married to someone and they pass, we become a widow. That's true. But what I would say I would be cautious to give credence to is feelings, making those tangible, which is I'm depressed. Because those aren't feeling. You could say that, yes, in our society and culture, when someone passes, we're a widow. So yes, we can say that's quote unquote factual. But making feelings factual, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean when I say that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's like you have there's that opportunity to experience a whole new world of emotions, experiences, and things of that nature that you probably haven't ever done yet, that you maybe haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah. It makes me think of too, I can't even remember where I read it anymore, but like when those thoughts come into my mind to question, like, are these really my thoughts? Or are they the thoughts of somebody that I heard say these things and then I took them to be truth? And is it my truth?
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things that I'm like walking this balance beam of is, where does my own thoughts and feelings about Linda as a widow end, and the thoughts of, well, this is what a widow is supposed to do and how a widow is supposed to act and how a widow is supposed to feel, that I have heard from other people or read or seen, where does that line, I really have to be diligent to look at those things.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that kind of helped me with that was we had our Thanksgiving celebration on Saturday because the weather was too yucky on Thursday. And I told my sister, I said, I told everybody, I said, I really don't want us to like go all out and do the whole, Thanksgiving thing. It's a lot. It's a lot on a good day, right?
Yeah.
And I said, so what I'm inviting you to do is to come bring something that is like your favorite comfort food, and just be here so we can be together. And my sister, she made all the Thanksgiving things except for the turkey because they're vegan, but like she made all the Thanksgiving things and brought it. And I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of work. And she said she had her wife take her to the emergency room a couple days before because she thought she was having some kind of heart issue or something. She was feeling nauseous, she was feeling dizzy, and it turned out that it was a panic attack, that it was anxiety. And I'm like, oh my God, I can totally relate to that, because I've had those experiences too. So it came to me afterwards, the next day or so, to let her know that, you know what, Christmas is not going to be Christmas for us this year. And that Trey and I have already talked about it. And I don't want her or anybody else to feel like they have to make the Christmas experience for us because we don't want to do it ourselves, because we don't want to do it because it's not going to be the same. It will never be the same. It will be different, and different is going to be okay. But I just wanted to make sure like she's not in some kind of protective little sister mode where she feels like, you know, she has to step up and be the sister and the aunt and make all, because she's grieving too, you know, she's known Rudy for almost as long as I have. So yeah, is this something that I really believe? Is it my belief, or is it something that somebody said to me? Like, because she even said to me at one point, because she asked if we wanted to do the Secret Santas, because we exchange gifts that way at Christmas time usually. And I said, you know what? If you guys want to do Secret Santa, go for it. I'm out. I'm out. I don't want to buy gifts. It doesn't feel celebratory to me in that way this year. And you know, of course, it wouldn't be much Secret Santa because it'll be my sister and her wife and my son and his wife. No secrets there. Guess who has who? But anyways, I was just like, yeah, it's not going to be the same, and that's okay. It's going to be different, and that's okay. And it's going to feel shitty, and that's also okay. It is what it is. And you know, like both all of you were saying grace. I just grace the crap out of myself and my family and everybody around me. Everybody gets grace. That's my gift this year. Go ahead, Carla.
So I'll share the reading of this. So it's paragraph 11 and 4. And so I'm going to change the word. So I asked myself, is this eternal? It is not, therefore not eternal, and will be unmade for you the instant you signify your willingness to accept only the eternal. And that's the whole thing. We all get to choose. We all have free will. And I'm really, for a long time, I was like, God, the world has gotten it. Love is really, it's not win or lose, not powerful. It's like love is real, really. How does it come to this place? And the mind can go on with experiences, things, specific details in the world. That how can this ever happen? That I've realized this. I believe in love. However it looks, I believe in love, and allow it, everyone, and I love everyone by allowing them to choose however their life unfolds and however the world seems because the world, I don't know, that's eternal. And now I go back to that question, and it says, love, is this eternal? I just ask myself these questions. Is this what I truly desire? Because your body, the Linda, is that eternal? The Carla? No, it's the love that's eternal. And that's what I choose. Eternal.
Thanks, Carla.
I was going to say, Linda, a while ago, the word that came to me as you were speaking with acceptance, but before I go into like my thoughts about that, I guess the question I had. So, well, I'll say this: the idea that being a widow is this really negative thing, which is a painful thing, no doubt, and I haven't experienced it yet. Chances are I will, unless we go down together. I don't know. Or I go first, but statistics don't support that, right? So my mind, so it seemed to me the idea that that was a negative thing was perhaps, so the word acceptance came to me, this idea of like, is there resistance to accepting the idea that you are a widow? And really what a widow, the only thing a widow truly means is that Rudy is your husband, is his soul is no longer in his human body. That's all that it actually means. So then when you were saying what you were saying, kind of answered this question, because is that hard? Yes, like super hard. Like I think I shared that in here before, where I read at the beginning of C.S. Lewis's book about his grief observed, the foreword by another woman, she writes about losing a spouse was like losing a limb. Feels like you're losing a limb, like a part of you, you've operated. I haven't been together with my husband as long as you, but we're coming on, I don't know, 26 years together. I've known him for longer than that. But so yeah, it's just you move through life. He does his thing, you do yours, you do it together, and it's all, and then how do you do life when it's that person's not there? Um, so anyway, my mind went to that place of like, that's really all that, not all, but that's the definition of a widow. And so then I started thinking, well, is it this like, and I experienced this too, this lack of wanting to accept that this was my reality, that this person who's been in my life, I mean, I've had multiple, but my most recent big grief was my father. This person who's been in my life as long as I've been on this earth is gone, and like literally, like, have not experienced a day where I didn't know like where he was or what he was doing, or couldn't call, couldn't pick up the phone and call him anytime I wanted. And so some of that for me was this, like, it felt weird. It felt weird to say like, oh, my father. And I know to other people, they would just think, oh, your father's passed. Like, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like you and a million other people, right? But it's like,
Right.
oh, like this is, so it is sort of this like lack of wanting to accept that this is my reality now. So I was putting myself in that, but I don't know if that was or if it's like that lack of acceptance. And I do know for myself in hard experiences, I make it that much harder. And I will say my father's life really showed me the value of just accepting the flow of life, and how hard we make it on ourselves when we resist what is happening, like the flow of life. So anyway, that was kind of where the acceptance piece came in for me. But then you kind of expounded that perhaps you have these ideas in your mind of what a widow is or what a widow should be. And perhaps that's part of that negative association with it, in addition to it just being hard that your guy is not in his body, but your connection is real. Your connection is eternal. And that is like, sometimes I still like, I'll just go spend time with my dad. I take a drive, I listen to Dylan, and I just wait for him. I know he's with me. Um, or I take a walk or whatever that is. I know I can still be with my dad and I feel him. Like, and I was talking to him this morning. I can still talk to him so you can with Rudy. So really that's still a hard truth to accept, that they are not here. This person who has been here for what may have felt like forever of your life, the better part of your life. I've lived more of my life with my husband than not at this point, as you well have as well. And so there's something to that, right? But then there's something else to it of letting yourself accept that you get to decide what a widow means to you. And um, and some of that, like to what my brother was saying, is still yet to be revealed. You're still living, the wheel is ever in motion, the wheel of life, and your life is still unfolding. And so probably for the next 6 weeks, just putting one foot in front of the other, getting up and taking care of the daily tasks of that day will be enough.
Mhm.
And that's okay, just to move through the day. But anyway, so I don't know if that's helpful at all, but that was the word that came to me, of just this, it might just be, this resistance to accepting that this is your reality. And
Yeah.
that's okay. But as Carla has shared, and we all know, we have choice in that.
Right.
And so sometimes, just as Jennifer says, you may not be willing, but you can be willing to be willing. So God, I'm willing to accept that this is my reality this holiday season. And it feels really shitty, but I'm willing to accept it. And then maybe that's all you got. I don't know. But
Yeah.
maybe that's, anyway. So just that word acceptance came to me. Whatever, if any of that rambling made sense to you or was helpful to you, then wonderful. But that was the word that came to me.
Thank you,
And it's a
Linda.
hard thing sometimes to face this. I liken this to like when after I had my first child, it was bizarre for me to like, I'd be driving and all of a sudden I would be like, oh my God, I have a baby in the back seat. Like I have a child in this world. Like, and I remember after I had my second child, I was at a party and I was at a mom's club party. I brought her, she was just a few weeks old. But nobody else brought their children. It was an adult, it was like a adults only like nighttime party. And somebody's like, there's a baby crying. Whose baby is this? And I'm just like drinking my thing. And I'm just like, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, that's my baby. I have to feed this child. It's like this moment of like your reality has changed and your brain is still trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And I've read a bit on this, that grief, because I went through a lot of brain fog with my father that I didn't experience with pregnancy or kids or whatever, but with my father's passing, I did. And grief literally rewires the brain. Your brain
Yeah.
is trying to comprehend how to live life. Like it's like you're totally rewiring your brain and your brain doesn't know what to do because life as you've known it for all this time and the shortcuts you have in your brain don't exist there anymore. You know, it doesn't work that way anymore. So it's the same thing for me. And then it was the same thing of like, oh, like, I would think, oh, I'm going to call my dad. No, I can't call my dad or, you know, whatever. So the same thing was like, oh, all of a sudden, like I have a child I'm responsible for in this world. Like I can't forget they're in the back seat or they're at this party with me and that's my kid who needs to be fed. So, okay. And now, or the reverse, like this person isn't here anymore. So it's a recalibration of your brain and your life.
Yeah.
And you're still very much going through that. And it's like a new experience to do this time of year without him. So anyway, and that is a hard thing to accept. And there might be a part of you that's railing against that you don't want to accept that this is
Oh,
the
yeah.
reality. And I get that, like, and that's really normal. But
Yeah.
maybe just voicing that willingness because you want to have an easier experience of it, of the willingness to accept it, or asking God for help and being able to accept it.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I'm grateful for, again, I know that there's no accidents and no coincidences, but, you know, just that I have all of this knowledge from becoming a spiritual counselor, being trauma informed, like, you know, doing somatic work and the vagus nerve stuff. And like, I have all of the like scientific knowledge of all of like the synapses that are broken in my brain right now that make sense when you think about the brain fog and all of that. I'm so grateful I know that because gosh, how hard would I be on myself if I didn't? Right? I would just think, oh, I am so effing broken right now. And instead, I can just be like, no, you've been through some stuff and you do need to be kind and gentle and compassionate and give yourself some grace. And this is what we have to do for everybody. So I know that there is a part of me that is like in an incubation process of birthing this new version of me. And I find it really funny that I was thinking about on Saturday, I had a hell of a time like getting myself to do anything. And so I just put some music on and I was drawn to 70s classic rock. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, of course that would help me because that's before I met Rudy. I didn't meet Rudy until the early 80s. And so I'm listening to music before I was Rudy's wife. And that makes sense because that part of me still exists within me. And that part of me can still get shit done when the other part of me that is in the broken synapses because, you know, because of all the missing pieces. So that's just in a scientific way, kind of fascinating to me right now in this moment. So yeah, thank you. Kathleen, were you going to share something?
Yeah, I don't know. You might want to look at chapter 15, section 8, The Escape from Loneliness. I just read it over and over and over. And it's like we don't need these people in order to be happy. What we need is the holy instant and that incredible connection with God. Um, and if there's any guilt or need for forgiveness in what's happening to us, we need to go ahead and let the Holy Spirit take any guilt or lack of forgiveness that we might have. And, it's hard for me to even remember how bad I felt when Ram and Paul both left in 2020 because I feel their presence so strongly. And I know that I only need God to be happy. Every time I think about having a new special relationship, I start looping like, whoa, why? Um, but I know that we can do that. We can have holy relationships I could have a holy relationship again that could help me in my spiritual studies and help me in my spiritual work. Um, but it's not happening right now. And this is the longest I've ever lived alone is 5 years. Never ever lived by myself before that. So, um, I don't know. It's just like it might help. It might help to read it, it might not. But I know you're gonna be fine. You are
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. That's chapter 15, section 8.
Yeah, it can be hard to read. The first time through might not do you any good, but near the last several paragraphs are more like more upbeat or uplifting or something.
Yeah. Thanks, Kathleen. I'll check that out.
There. It's also supposed to be the Christmas chapter, which I don't know. I have to look at it from that point of view because that's what Marianne Bukowski was just recommending that we all
Ah,
read chapter 15 because it's the Christmas chapter. But what I haven't gotten any farther than the part about loneliness, which I thought might help.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am so grateful for all of you. I cannot tell you like how much better I feel after we all come together every week. So, thank you so much for helping to lift me up and for tolerating my complete obsession with this grief in my
Fine.
life right now because it doesn't feel like there's room for anything else. So I appreciate you all so much.
Share one more thing with you, Linda, and I'm going to say probably for Kathleen too. I don't know how long, Kathleen, you were with your significant other, but I do a lot of probate real estate deals, and I can't tell you the amount of times I see when one partner dies, passes away, within 4 to 6 months, the other partner has passed too. And
Wow.
it's something very real that, and one of my best friends, her mother and father, when we were kids, within a year, they were very young. They weren't older at all.
Mhm.
Father passed away, and within a year, her mom was gone. And she was in high school. We were in high school and college when that happened.
Wow.
So for you, for both of you, and anybody else on planet Earth that chugs along and trudges along after a tragedy, a real hard passing, for you to just keep going and say to yourself, like, I'm gonna make this work no matter what. Take a step back, pat yourself on the back, recognize that that is real and tangible, that you're making a conscious choice to do that. It's big.
Yeah. Thanks,
I
Daniel.
see it. I see it every day.
Yeah. We are awesome, Kathleen.
Yeah.
Damn Skippy. And
Yeah.
Listen, and Carla too. I don't want to leave you out of that too. Just, circumstances that come to us, it's very easy for us to take the easy way out. And y'all aren't.
Yeah.
You're you're pushing through.
Yep. Teachers of God.
Yeah. It's interesting because that is something that I knew was very common. And so that's something that I'm also like pushing through the idea that because Rudy's gone, that I have to be gone shortly after. Because I really don't want to be gone. I enjoy my life. I would like to, get to watch my son and daughter-in-law, grow and expand in love. And yeah, so that may be a statistic, but it doesn't have to be my statistic.
Perfectly said.
Keep drumming. Keep drumming.
Yeah, I will. I will. Yeah, thank you all. So next week we will continue in chapter 10, moving on to section 4. No other laws but God's. So yeah. And I don't have anything up.
That's okay. We can just pray out
Yeah.
and go.
I have a 1 o'clock, so I got to jet, but it was a pleasure to connect with you all. See you next
All
week.
right. Thanks.
Y'all are awesome people. Congrats. Love y'all. Take care.
You too.
And
All right. I'm just going to close this with a prayer because
I've been silent, but I just want to say it's been wonderful being here with you all. So
Aw,
thank
Brenda, I'm so glad you were here. I saw you there, but I just figured you couldn't speak for whatever reason. Yeah, glad you were here.
thank you. I am too.
All right. So again, placing my hands on my heart and just being so incredibly grateful and thankful for our willingness to be willing, for the love, appreciation, compassion, and company that we share with each other, the way that we can lift each other up and hold each other above the battlefield, and know again the truth of our being, which is unconditional love, perfect wholeness. We are continuing to claim that for ourselves, for each other, and for all of humanity. We're grateful for this holiday season and getting to remember the Christ within ourselves and everyone we see. And we're grateful to be able to share the benefits of that practice with everyone because we are one. In grace and divine gratitude, we let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Love
Linda,
yous.
for hosting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. See you
Bye.
soon.
Go eat lunch.
Yes.